Hello everyone and welcome to Selective Preparation Power Thinking Skills Test 3. In this video we are going to go through our 10 selected questions from this test paper. Let's start. So our first question of the day is a process of elimination question. We're asked which one must be true. We're given a table of what Maisie did, to Nelson's phone. She writes two statements in each box, some true, some false. However, no more than one statement on each box is false. So if there is one that is false already in a box, the other one must be true. But if there's a true one that we don't know if the other one is true or false. So box one, what we're going to do is try and just guess and check and go with the flow and see if it comes back to the correct logic, I guess. So I always pretend that this first one is true. If number one is true, the phone is not in this box, then find another statement that must be false or must be true. If the phone is not in this box, then this statement here, the phone is in box one, must be false. Remember, no more than one statement can be false, so then the phone is pink must be true. If we know the phone is pink, then the phone is purple in box 3. This one must be false because we know the phone is pink. Again, same logic. If this one is false, the phone is not in this box, this one must be true. Now, if the phone is not in box 3 and the phone is also not in box 1, then the phone must be in box 2. And see here, this one must be true then. So now we have come back in full circle and it has worked out, which means that this must be the correct combination. So finding the correct statement, phone is in box 2, A is correct. Let's check the other ones to see if they're incorrect. The phone is purple, yes, it's not, it's pink. Phone is in box 3, no, box 2. Phone is plum, no, it's pink. So A is the answer. In a similar strain, we're doing another one. However, this time we're finding the false statement. So in a very similar fashion to what we did in question 1, we are going to test these and see if we come back to the logical conclusion. Again, no more than one statement is false. So, if door 1, the door to the freedom door is door 3, is true. Then you look at door 3, this one must be 2. This is the door to freedom. We've just established that because we are assuming that this one is true, door 3, that one must be true. What does that mean? This is not the door to freedom. This must be true. And door 1 is the door to freedom. This one must be false, because we know it's door 3 according to our current testing. Looking at door 2, this is not the door to freedom. This one is true. Freedom is on the doors on either side of this door. Also true because it's door 3. This is the door to freedom. So now this has logically worked out for us. If it doesn't, then you need to try again. And obviously then you'll try if this is false, and then it should work out. But yeah, it worked out first time round, so therefore this is a correct combination. Note, we are looking for the false option, not the true one. So which one is the false statement? This is not the door to freedom, so this is not a option. What is this? This is kind of like a dummy answer. I don't know which this is talking about, door 1, door 2, or door 3. But freedom is one of the doors on either side of this door. Again, this is not the false statement, it is true. The door to freedom is door 3. This is true, we established that. The door to freedom is door 1. Now this is the false one. Right, number 3. So I'm going to avoid going into too much detail with the working out just for the sake of time. But let's quickly explain how to work this. We have different rates for 7 to 11, 11 to 3, okay, and also 3 to 6. The first thing you want to do is figure out those rates. So, for example, here we know that Tom pays $10 every morning at 8 a.m. to cross the bridge. What does that mean? $10 for 8 a.m. So that means that from 7 to 11, that is $10. Now this is 25% higher than 11 to 3. $10 is equal to 25% higher, so 125%. 100 is the base, 100 whole thing, plus an extra 25% of 11 to 3 p.m. So you can divide this by 125%, or 1.25. Okay, and you should get $8 for 11 to 3. Now 11 to 3 is 25% lower than 3 to 6. So $8 must be equal to 3/4 of 3 to 6 p.m. So to find the whole thing, 3/4, you can divide by 3 times by 4, or you can also just divide this by 0.75 divided by 3/4, and you should get $10.66, which is $10.67 round up. Okay, so now that we have those values down, the next step is just to calculate when they travel and how much. Okay, so let's draw a quick table. So we have Tom, Lily, and Bruce. Tom pays $10 every morning, and then he also crosses again at 5 p.m., so that's $10.67. You add that up, you get $20.67. Now Lily crosses at 11:30 and 2:30. Okay, 11:30 and 2:30, they're both $8. So 8 plus 8 is $16. And Bruce goes the same time as Tony, so $10 in the morning, but leaves at the same time as Lily, so $8 in the arvo. Plus it, you get $18. Now using these values, you can compare and see which one is true. The answer is D. Tom pays $4.67 more than Lily, okay, so these two, $4.67 more, and $2.67 more than Bruce, these two. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let's move on. Number 4, we have Aaron buying 4 goldfish and 5 angelfish. So this one is more of an algebraic thing. We know that goldfish is the same as angelfish minus $2.50. He paid $26 for everything. So what that means is he's going to buy 5 angelfish, 5A, and also 4 goldfish. Instead of goldfish, you're going to write down what it's worth, which is angelfish minus $2.50. So in other words, he bought 5 angelfish plus 4 lots of angelfish minus $2.50. And the total came to 26. When you have a bracket like this, you have to do this equal the rainbow method. You have to apply it to both, okay? Same as 5 angelfish plus 4 angelfish minus 4 times $2.50 is $10, is 26. So that means that 9 angelfish is same as, minus $10 is $26. So 9 angelfish must be $36. So 1 angelfish must therefore be $4. How much did he pay? The answer is A. Excuse me. Number 5. This one, if you were struggling, you can guess and check. Answer is D. Let's see if we get 18. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. Now what's next? You do the division. Okay, 6 divided by 2 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 3 plus 1, you go in order here. 20 minus 3 is 17, plus 1 will indeed get you to 18. So just don't forget your bod mass, please. Okay, number 6. So the general pattern here is that we have 3 shapes that are kind of going differently in each of these rows. Okay, we're moving in rows. First thing you should notice is that we are missing the the quarter circle shape. And it should be in this lattice formation because we're missing the lattice one. How should it be oriented? Well, you can see here that it's rotating, isn't it? It's rotating in which direction? Anti-clockwise, okay, going upwards. So it should end up in this position, which cancels out D and also cancels, D. Another thing is the size of the shape. Obviously, this is big, medium, and small. So A is also out. Now, the best thing to do here is to look between B and C and notice the difference. The difference lies in the arrows, okay? One of the arrows is kind of the triangles facing downwards, and this triangle is facing slightly upwards. If you notice the triangles in our arrows, you can see that they are all kind of changing, shifting, okay? So it's going up, down, up. And it's going up, down, up. Here it's going up, down, so you want an upwards facing arrow. So that's why C is the answer. Number 7. So this one, we want to see what numbers are remaining from 1 to 9. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4, 5, 6 is there, 7, and that's it. Now, the logical way of solving this is, first of all, seeing how much is there currently, okay, in each row. 3, 6, and 1, that's 10. 2, 9, 1 is 12. 2, 8, 3 is 13. So now to balance out each of these rows so that each straight line adds to a number, you just slot it into wherever it fits. So obviously 13 is the biggest one, so it's going to take 4. And then this one's going to take 5. And 10 being the smallest one will take the biggest number to compensate, 7. And you see that all of the rows add up to 17. So that's why it makes sense, and D is your answer. Right, this one, you have to think about this logically, okay? So we have a 2-digit number and a 1-digit number. When you add that 1-digit number, suddenly it becomes a 3-digit number. The only way we can have 2 digits plus 1 digit, okay, and become a 3-digit number, this one must be a very small 3-digit number, okay? So i.e. 1, right? That's the only way it makes sense. Another thing is that this one must be a big tens column to be able to move over another place value and become a 3-digit number. So by that logic, M is going to be 9, okay? And we know that N, I just said, was going to be 1 because it's becoming the smallest 3-digit number. That means that this must be 9. 9 something plus 9 will get us to 1 something something, and these two things are the same. So actually, N is going to be 1. Well, we already know N is 1. 91 plus 9 get you to 100. Okay, and that makes sense because P's are the same. So what does M represent? M represents 9, or option C. Right, question 9, evaluating reasoning. So Jeremy says that motorcycles are more dangerous than cars because they're involved in 30% of all roadside injuries, although only 5% of registered vehicles are motorcycles. So this is his main point, and he gives some evidence. Which, if the following, if true, supports Jeremy's argument. So I says a large proportion of motorcyclists are young males who are characteristically more reckless on the road. Now, I is not a very good supporting factor because it is talking about the drivers of these motorcycles or motorcyclists, not the actual motorcycles themselves. So they're saying that the drivers are what make it more dangerous, not the actual motorcycles. So that's why I is actually weakening the argument. So it's not the one that we're looking for. By that logic, you can see that A, B, and D all have I in it. So C is the answer. Okay, please take a look at the next 3 and try and consider carefully how that links to this main argument that we have highlighted here. And this last question, the police asks, if you do not confess, then you will be charged with obstruction of justice. Police officer, I don't know what you're talking about, the woman replies. What is the underlying assumption being made by the police officer? So if you don't know what this obstruction of justice means, you can derive that the police wants the woman to confess something. The word confess means to own up to something that you did wrong. Okay, so he is definitely assuming that she did something wrong. So using that, we can look at the assumption list. A, the woman is going to commit obstruction of justice. So we don't know this, okay? The woman just says, I don't know what you're talking about, but there's no definite pathway or sign that shows us that the woman is actually going to commit obstruction of justice. So A is out. B, the woman is guilty of a crime. Now this is actually the answer. The assumption is that the woman has something to confess. Okay, she has done something wrong to confess, and the police is assuming that by saying this statement. So B is the answer here. Remember, always feel free to read these solutions for extra information. So key points in this test. I'm going to talk about the table question, okay? Remember the process of elimination, question 1 and 2. For these questions, I want you to not be afraid, okay? To just guess and check, okay? Use one of the statements. Pretend or assume that it is true and work through the other statements to see if you get back to the correct answer at the end of your test. So what I mean by that, you just go through every single one, and when you get to the last statement and you have to put down a certain answer, if that works, then the whole system works. For pattern questions or for number pattern questions, okay, or coding, make educated guesses about the rough range the numbers should sit in. So remember that triangle filling in numbers question, okay, and by making like a rough guess and narrowing down your range, you can work through it quicker. Hopefully that video helped you guys, and for next time, please review that takeaway. All right, I'll see you then.